Greetings folks, and welcome to the first edition of Halloween Havoc 2023 with me, your host, Learned Rob, aka Rob from 81632-bit. Now, as you can probably guess, this is going to be a spooky themed video about scary games for the Sega Master System, and this is just part one. Yes, that's right, there are a few spooky games for the Master System, but not as many as you will think, and even though it isn't a huge number, I've elected to split it into two groups simply because I don't want the video to run ridiculously long. Anyway, without further ado, let's take a look at this first batch of spooky, scary games for the Sega Master System. So, first up we have Altered Beast. It's a bit of an arcade classic from Sega where you play a were creature. I mean, for most people you're a werewolf because very few people tend to get past the first stage or two, and on this Master System version that's not really surprising. It's, well, rubbish if I'm being completely honest with you. It looks okay in stills, but as you can see here in motion, it's terrible. Yes, the baddies look suitably gross and spooky, but everything moves slowly and jerkily, and it's just a terrible game to play. Although, as I said, it looks reasonably atmospheric in stills. It's still a terrible game. If you must play a spooky game on the Master System at Halloween, don't let it be this jerky, flickery, hideous, awful mess. Let's move on, shall we? So, next on the list we have Ghost House. Now, Ghost House is a fairly primitive, fairly simple, but pretty good looking platform game where you have to wander around the titular ghost house, punching vampire bats and ghosts and what appear to be kitchen plungers, but I'm guessing they're supposed to be darts, and working your way through the house to a confrontation with Dracula. Now, you can get to this confrontation pretty quick if you want to, or you can take your time and investigate round the house. Now, I have to be honest, for what is a fairly early Master System game, this looks pretty decent. The graphics are nicely defined, and it does have a bit of a spooky feel to it with its enemy design and everything. It's not too bad, and of course, here comes the big D himself, Dracula. Get your minds out of the gutter there, people who thought I was going to say something else then. But yeah, it's not a bad spooky little game. As you can see from this footage, I am absolutely pants at it. But this is a significantly better game to play than Altered Beast. So, I would recommend giving this one a try. Now, let's move on to the next spooky game. And here we have Laser Ghost. Now, this is an interesting game concept because it's meant to be played either with the Master System's Light Phaser or with the joypad. Now, it's not exactly what you would think it would be. Now, you do get this really nice little intro here, which I'm going to let play out in the background because it's rare to get a full intro like this on a lot of these earlier Master System games. They would often just be a simple title screen then straight into the game. However, Laser Ghost attempts to set a bit of atmosphere and scene, and to be fair, it does it quite well. You get a nice little bit of backstory and a little bit of animation there, and it's pretty well done. I mean, I have to admit, the story behind the game, the girl trapped in the basement, her soul being stolen, does make me think very much of a sort of a King Diamond album kind of deal here, you know. You can imagine King Diamond with his high-pitched voice being going like, Lisa Coast! Excuse my really bad high-pitched crackly voice there. But, you know, that's the kind of thing that King Diamond would do. But here we go, we're in the Demon Manor. And this is where you see how different and strange this game is. You have no control over the girl. You control the cursor. You can shoot the damaged bits on the wall, you can shoot the enemies that appear, and she will make her way towards the end of the level. She'll just keep walking. You just have to keep her alive. You can shoot out the candles and everything will go black, as you can see. You have a special bomb that goes off. You know, you've got these little bonus rooms here, and you can collect extra special weapons and energy, because yes, even if you're not being attacked by the enemies, the girl's energy will go down. It's permanently decreasing. And you'll fight bosses. Like this here. This isn't quite the end of stage, but these suits van will come alive and you've got to stop them. Now, you can shoot them, but it takes forever. Or you can use the specials, which does speed things up somewhat. This is definitely a quirky game. It's different. It's unusual. It's an interesting way of how you would have used the light phaser, and obviously I'm playing it here with a pad. I think it would have been easier with the light phaser, but it's reasonably atmospheric and it's fairly spooky. It's good for a little blast, you know. It's a shortish play, and it's one that you'll probably get some fun from. So yeah, it's one of the better spooky games on the Master System, and let's move on to the final game for this video, and believe you me, it's an awful lot better than anything that's come before. And here we are, the absolute best game in this video, Ghouls and Ghosts. This is a legendary arcade title which saw some fairly decent home conversions, and truth be told, this Master System version is excellent. It nails the spooky atmospherics perfectly, and it plays really well. When you think how weak compared to the arcade hardware the Master System was, this is a damn good version of the game. It nails the vibe and the spooky and creepiness. It's a really fun game. Yes, it's harder than 10-day-old rock cakes, but it's a superb game. And yeah, it's suitably spooky with its Grim Reaper bad guys and skull-laden guillotines and creepy vultures and freaky magicians. Everything about this game is spooky, and that's the point, that it's there in the title, Ghouls and Ghosts. If you don't get that this is meant to be a spooky game, then you're not getting it. But it's fun, and I love it, and I heartily recommend anybody who has access to a Master System play this game. It's that damn good. So there you go, folks, part 1 of spooky, scary games for the Sega Master System. Part 2 should be coming in a couple of weeks' time. If you've enjoyed this video, you know, do let me know in the comments down below. If you've really enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you've really enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. You know, it's all good, everything helps, and I will see you next time. This is Rob saying, so long. Greetings folks, and welcome to the second part of the 2023 Halloween Havoc series on scary, spooky Sega Master System games. I've got another batch of games for you to look at today, and I do apologise, I am recovering from a cold so my voice may sound a little bit rough. But anyway, let's get on to the first one of these spooky, scary games. So first up today we have Basketball Nightmare. This is a bit of a rarity. Not only is it a horror game, but it's also a sports game at the same time, and coincidentally this was the first game for the Master System I ever bought for myself. Now, as you can clearly see here, despite being a bit flickery, this is a basketball game and you play against various monsters. For example, in this first game here, you're playing against some werewolves. Now, you can see you've got a spooky looking court. You play against vampires, ghosts, werewolves. It's pretty kind of spooky, especially for a sports game. And it's a good little bit of fun. You know, it's different. It's not got that sterile nature that most sports games have of Team A versus Team B. You've got this spookiness, it's got that little creepy music in the background as well, which does get a little bit annoying after a while, but it does have a nice vibe. And obviously you've got these really cool looking close-ups where you can see yourself and the monsters doing slam dunks. Is it scary? Not particularly, but it is a little bit spooky and a little bit creepy, and you know, that's what Halloween's about, right? So, next up we have Bram Stoker's Dracula, which quite obviously is a tie-in to the film of the same name released in the early 1990s, which, despite its title, even though it's relatively accurate, isn't really Dracula as told in Bram Stoker's novel. Now, the video game, as was typical for the time, it's a platformer, albeit a kind of Castlevania-esque-ish one, which is pretty important on the Master System, given that the Master System never actually received an official Castlevania game. It's reasonably okay, I suppose. You know, it plays alright, it looks okay. I mean, your central character, which is supposed to be Jonathan Harker, kinda looks like a refugee from a 1960s psychedelic band, but you know, he's well animated, he bounces around the levels well, and the levels look suitably, you know, spooky. This is Transylvania after all, and yeah, there's not a lot you can say about it. The soundtrack's alright, the controls are good, it's bang average, to be fair. I mean, there's better platform games on the system, and there's worse platform games on the system. Yeah, it's one of those games. It's just very meh. And to be fair, if it wasn't for the license, it would probably be something that would not ever enter onto anyone's radar. Certainly wouldn't be on my radar if it wasn't a licensed game and I was looking at it for this video. Yeah, it's Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's a movie tie-in, it's a little bit spooky, a little bit creepy, and yeah, I just don't have anything to say about it. So, the third spooky, scary game on our list today is Wolfchild. Now, again, it's kind of pushing the limits of being a scary horror game, but your character that you play in the game is, in essence, a werewolf, and you run around these platform levels punching and eventually shooting bad guys, and you collect power-ups and turn into a werewolf. To be fair, it's a pretty good game. It looks pretty decent for the Master System. It's got that nice sort of shiny 1990s futuristic aesthetic that you saw with a lot of titles, especially from European developers who'd come from platforms like the Atari ST and the Commodore Amiga, where this kind of look was pretty par for the course for sort of futuristic-y, sci-fi-esque games. And, you know, it plays pretty well. It looks decent, the animation's good. But again, it's one of those games, it's not outstanding in any way, shape or form, but it is fun. And, you know, we get to play a werewolf that gets to punch other weird creature monster things in the head, which is always fun. You know, who doesn't like punching monsters? And yeah, I mean, you're more powerful as the werewolf, which is how it should be. You know, a werewolf should be more powerful than a human. And yeah, it's borderline horror and borderline scary, but it's a fun little game, and, you know, you'll get plenty of enjoyment out of it. Now, much like on the previous video, I have saved the absolute best till last here. This is Master of Darkness, also known as Vampire in some territories. This is by far the best game of its type on the Master System. It's a platform action adventure. Basically, it's Castlevania for the Master System, which is really good because, as I've already mentioned, the Master System didn't get a Castlevania, but this game is very much Castlevania. The way it looks, the way it plays, it is Castlevania. But that's not a bad thing, that's a really good thing, because this is a superb Castlevania game, even if it doesn't have the name. Like I said, it looks like Castlevania, it's got that suitably spooky look and feel to it. You've got the hidden objects in walls. You know, even the staircases look like Castlevania. How the hell Konami did not sue Sega for producing this game, I will never know. But it's easily the best game of this type on the Master System, as I said. Everything about it is brilliant. The controls are spot on. The graphics are brilliantly atmospheric. The sound is superb. I think the only thing that lets it down is it is, well, like the Castlevania games, really rather difficult. For somebody who is, let's just say, average or slightly below average in their gaming skills, like myself, it can be quite tough to progress far in this game, but it's worth it. It's a fun title to play, and it's perfectly spooky and atmospheric and scary as these things go. It's what you want in a game like this. And yes, I say it's a Castlevania game. That's a pre-Metroidvania style Castlevania game, so it's pre-Symphony of the Night. If you played Castlevania 2 and 3 on the NES or Castlevania 4 on the SNES, you'll know exactly what you're going to get here. Linear platform levels broken up into sections, but it's superb. The Master System needed a game like this, and it's just a shame it came out at what was quite relatively the end of the Master System's commercial life in its biggest market, which was Europe. Had this come out a couple of years earlier, who knows, we might have seen a sequel, might have even seen a Mega Drive sequel, but that's something to maybe contemplate for another time. So there you have it, folks. 4 more spooky, scary games for the Sega Master System. Now, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the usual stuff. You know, there are other videos you can watch. The Halloween Havoc series goes back a few years. And yeah, you know, feel free to leave your comments below. Follow me on all the social medias you'll see linked in the description. And until the next video, this is Rob saying so long.